heard from a lot of people, especially recently, that they are thinking about giving up. They're thinking about going back to their 9-to-5 because they just simply can't find any handyman work. The story is fairly common when you hear it. I've been doing this handyman gig for like a month and a half, and I've been advertising, and there's just no handyman job. It's so hard. Like, the competition is so huge. My market is saturated. I just can't get any handyman jobs. So I'm gonna quit and I'm gonna go back to my 9-to-5. Now, if you really need to go back to your 9-to-5, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But there's a few flaws in that way of thinking that I want to address. For number one, if you just started your handyman business, marketing is something that you really need to focus on. Now, marketing, the biggest thing about marketing is that it takes at least 90 days for your marketing to start taking effect. So if you've only been marketing, and by marketing, I mean like doing advertising and things like that. If you're just focusing on word of mouth, or your friends to tell their friends, or your family to tell their friends or family or whatever about your services, that's not marketing. So at the end of the day, if you are going to quit because there's no handyman jobs and you're not marketing, you need to start marketing. That's my first tip. But if you are marketing and you've only been marketing for, say, a month and a half, I would say don't quit yet, because marketing by and large does not start taking effect for about 90 days at least. And it's really like a snowball. So it starts out super small. As it rolls down the hill, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So the longer you do marketing, the more it pays off, because the more established brand that you have created in your area. So that would be my second tip, is don't quit if you've only been marketing for a month and a half. Give it at least 3 months and keep pressing on, because marketing is fairly, by and large, as long as you're doing it the correct way. And a little plug here, if you're interested in marketing, SEO, websites, anything like that, I would highly recommend you reach out to my good friend Jason Call at handymanmarketingpros.com. He is by and large the best handyman marketing agency for handyman businesses. That's all he does. He only messes with handyman because that's what he knows and that's what he does really well. We've been using him ever since we first started up our business, and it has been absolutely fantastic. One of the best connections that I have ever made in my business, and he just so happens to be my great friend, which is absolutely fantastic. So I would highly recommend you reach out to him. He is a great person to get your marketing established correctly. So that would be the way to do marketing correctly. If you're doing it on your own, you might be able to do it, but at the end of the day, we're handymen, we're not marketers. So I would highly recommend leaving that to the professionals. Just like when we go to someone's house to hang a picture or assemble some furniture, we don't necessarily want them just standing over us telling us how to do it, because they're the homeowner, we're the handyman, we're the professional, right? We're like, leave the job to the professional and you go do what you want to do because you've hired me to do this. So I would highly recommend you leave marketing, you leave website, you leave SEO to the professional. Let them do what they do best so that we can do what we do best. Hey friends, I wanted to interrupt this video real quick and let you know that I've created an Amazon store with a whole bunch of links to tools that I highly recommend and tools that we use every single day in our handyman business, and also handyman business books. Books have been drastic to the growth of my business, and I would highly recommend that you check that out. So I will put a link in the description below where you can gain access to that Amazon store and see everything that I recommend. Also, I wanted to let you know that you can schedule a free consultation call with me over at handymanjourney.com/coaching. I look forward to talking with you soon. Let's get back to today's video. Okay, so you've been marketing for a month and a half. You're hanging in there because you got Jason Call doing your marketing, and it's gonna pay off because marketing, by and large, is really pretty mathematical. You spend X amount of money on marketing, depending on your area, you spend X amount of money on marketing, you're gonna get X amount of calls. And then it's up to you to convert those calls to actual sales. And that money that you spend per client varies from area to area. I can't give you the exact numbers for your specific areas because my business is definitely different than your business. My amount of brand that I've created is much different than the majority of people around. If you've only been around for about a year, your branding is going to be a little bit less, but as you continue to just simply be around and continue to market, continue to have your trucks driving down the road, continue to put yard signs out, continue to put door hangers out, your branding is going to grow. So therefore, at least theoretically, the cost per lead should go down as you get established in your area and your neighborhood. So what can you do while you are waiting for this marketing to kind of kick in, right? You've been marketing for a month and a half, but you know that it takes 3 months for kind of marketing to start kicking in. So what can you do? What can you do to kind of generate leads right now? One thing that I would highly recommend is door-to-door advertising, in a sense, right? Door-to-door networking. And there's also a few other ways of guerrilla marketing that I would highly recommend as well. But one huge thing that you should be doing, if you are full-time handyman, but you don't have full-time work, so that means if your sole income is handyman and you're supposed to be doing that 40 hours a week, but you don't have 40 hours worth of work per week to do just because you're not busy enough, you should still treat that as a 40-hour work week. So let's say you have 10 hours worth of work in a given week. The rest of the 30 hours should be working on your business. And I believe a lot of it should be spent in marketing. So that means you have 30 hours in that week to go door to door. You're not sitting on the couch eating potato chips, watching TV, waiting for the phone to ring. You're out there knocking on doors, meeting people, shaking hands and kissing babies. That's your job while you don't have work to do. So if you don't have anything to do, there's no calls coming in, you need to be going door to door in your neighborhood and just introducing yourself. Say, hey, my name is Joe Schmo with Joe Schmo Handyman Services. I was wondering if you had anything that you needed repaired right now. Like, that's how I would phrase it. Do you have anything that needs to be repaired right now? They're like, oh, well, I have the smoke detector that keeps beeping, right? Perfect. I'll come in and replace that battery. And if it's something small like that, one cool thing you could do is if they have the battery, put the battery in and don't charge them. Say, this first one's on me. Patty, this one's on me, ma'am. This was a super easy job. No big deal. I had my ladder in the truck. You just give me a call if you ever need anything else. You're going to become their handyman for life. And at the end of the day, if they don't have work right then, that's perfectly fine. You've introduced yourself to them. You've handed them a nice brochure. You've handed them a business card. You've talked about the work that you can do. They're more than likely to call you next time they need a handyman because they've actually met you face to face. They're more likely to call you because they know you, they know your smiley face. Hopefully you gave them a good impression. They know you, you've met them, you're polite. So they're more likely to call you than just some random guy they find online or on Nextdoor or on Facebook because they don't know him from Adam, but yet they've met you at their front door and you were polite. Or you were polite and you replaced their neighbor's smoke detector batteries for free. So don't forget the value of door-to-door networking or just in-person networking. A few other things that you could do is join Chamber of Commerce's, join realtor network groups, join property management network groups, right? Like I said, those 40 hours in that work week, if you're only working 10 of them, you need to be busting your butt for the other 30, just getting jobs. Same with if you are only working 30 hours or 35 hours out of those 40 hours a week, use those 5 hours for marketing. Keep pushing that envelope because the harder you push that envelope, the more people are going to call. And the harder you push that envelope, the higher it's going to rank you above all of your competitors in the area. The difference between you and them will be who works the hardest. I love one quote is that sometime in a war, both sides might consider themselves defeated, but it's the side that decides to continue to fight is the side that wins. So if both sides are thinking, oh, we're defeated, like the other people are, whooping our butt or whatever it is, right? If this side continues for whatever reason or decides for whatever reason to continue fighting and these people have that negative mindset that they've already been defeated, these people are going to take them out every single time because it's the one with the positive mindset, the mindset of the champion, is the one that wins the war. It's been day 55 of the 100-day video challenge. Thank you guys so much for being here. One huge thing I wanted to let you guys know about, there's a webinar coming up this upcoming Monday. So today's Friday. On Monday, November 20th at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Nice Job is putting on a webinar that is going to be absolutely transformational. You have to check it out. So I will put a link in the description below where you can register for that webinar so that you get all of the information that you need so that you can get plugged into that. I would highly recommend you check that out. I will be there and I hope that you will be there as well.